Alright, today we're going to be talking about converting from Cartesian to polar form. This is the standard format for writing in Cartesian form. You may recognize this as being this is typically the way we're used to seeing this coordinate written. This is a standard form of Cartesian, and this is how we write it. And as far as plotting the points on the coordinate plane with the 2 points. So what we're going to need to do is we need to find out where this point is located on this coordinate plane. We're going to start at the origin, and it says 6r minus 11u. This means move 6 units to the right. So if we're starting here on the x-axis, we move 6 units to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units to the right. And this says minus 11u. So this actually, if it said plus 11u, that would mean move 11 units up on the coordinate plane, since u means up. But since it says minus, that means move in the opposite direction of up. And the opposite direction of up is down. So we move 6 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we move 11 units opposite of up, which is down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now where those 2 points meet will be the line where the point is. So there's 6 units to the right of the origin on the x-axis. And there's 11 units down on the y-axis. And where those points meet is our point. So this right here is 6r minus 11u, or better known as 6 minus 11. So now we have our point. We're going to connect the dots from where we started to where we finished. And there is our hypotenuse. And so now all we need to do is create the triangle from the right angle, and we see that it's coming this way. So this is our angle. This is 0, and our angle goes that way. So since our angle goes that way, our triangle will be this way. So here's our angle, here's our right angle. And we see we went 6 units to the right here, and then we went 11 units down. And then we need to figure out what the hypotenuse is. Now, how do we figure out what the hypotenuse is? Well, we have to look and see what values we have. If we're using trig functions, we have sine, cosine, and tangent. Our sine is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Our cosine is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And our tangent is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now, this is the angle in question that we need to figure out. So let's just call that y degrees. So this is the angle in question. So we don't know the hypotenuse. So really, we can't use sine because we need to know what the hypotenuse is to figure that out. We can't use the cosine because we need to know the hypotenuse to figure out that. What we are going to use is the formula for tangent, because the formula for tangent is the opposite side over the adjacent side. The opposite side of this angle is 11. So the tangent of the angle that we need to know, or tangent of y, is equal to the opposite side, which is 11, over the adjacent side, which is 6. So we know that the tangent of this angle is 11 over 6. So what we need to do is we need to figure out what the arc tangent of this angle is by doing the inverse of tangent. So the arc tangent of 11 over 6, or the inverse tangent of 11 over 6, both of these are the same thing. This is probably what you would see in your calculator more so, but you will also see this as well. Either one of those pretty much the same. So the inverse tangent of 11 over 6 is the angle in which we're this angle here. And the inverse the inverse tangent, or the arc tangent of 11 over 6 is 61.39, equals 61.39 degrees. So this is 61.39 degrees. So we're almost done. We're almost done. See, because when we're converting the polar coordinate, we need to have a magnitude, which is going to be that x value, and then we need to have an angle in degrees. So now we have an angle in degrees. We started here at x is 0, and we went clockwise. When we go clockwise on a coordinate plane, that's actually negative degrees. So x we don't know of, but we know that y is negative 61.39 degrees. So now we need to figure out what x is, and since we already know what the distance from the origin on the x-axis is, which is 6, and we already know what the distance from the x-axis going on the y-axis down, we know that's 11. So we have enough to figure out what the hypotenuse is using Pythagorean theorem. So we know that Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. In this case, it's x squared. And we're going to call a 6, so that's 6 squared plus b, we're going to call that 11. 11b, 11 squared is equal to x squared. 6 times 6 is 36, so 36 plus 11 times 11 is 121 is equal to x squared. 36 plus 121 is 157. So 157 is equal to x squared. So that means the square root of 157 is equal to x. So the square root of 157 minus 61.39 degrees. Now, this is the correct answer. Okay, but there's a couple other ways that you can write this. You can write this by finding out what the square root of 157 is, and the square root of 157 is 12.53. So we can write it this way. Let me erase something here. So we can write it this way. We can write it the square root of 157 minus 61.39 degrees. That's one way to write it. We can also get the square root of 157, which is 12.53. We can write it this way, 12.53, and then negative 61.39 degrees. Or, because we have negative degrees here, we can go all the way to the polar opposite. Okay? And see, this is 61.39 degrees, so we know that this is 61.39 degrees because that's the vertical angle. So what we do, rather than going 61 degrees in the negative direction, we'll go 118.61 degrees in the positive direction. So this degree right here is 118.61. So this is 118.61, and it's still going to be X is still going to be 12.53, just in the other direction. So it'll be $11, it'll be 6, and it'll be 12.53, and then we have 118 degree 0.61 there, and then we have our 61.39 degrees right there. So 12.53, and then a positive 118.61 degrees, and there you have converting from Cartesian to polar form.